Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this? I hope we do. Thanks. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 13th of May, Friday. Happy Friday, the 13th. I think the bus drivers are having a bad day today. My goodness. This has been choppy choppy, chop chop chop, chop chop. But it's been a very good lesson in watching for those breakouts that Lori was talking about yesterday. So um, she had a really good idea, which was to put a box. Let me see if I can do this on the CL. See how this CL has just been chopping around? Yes, you can trade this. But this bus driver is absolutely in love with this red ice. I mean, he just can't get past it. So when you have that, and if you're using C's, you just go over here to this box where it says rectangle, and you can just draw yourself a little line. I mean, look at this box on this for today between the day's high and the day's low, um, that's called tight range. It needs to break out of here one way or the other to give you a really nice trending trade. If you're scalping for 10, 15 ticks here and there, you can do that, but best done off of the 6 tick um, chart. So anyway, that was a great idea. And today on the indices, these boxes were very useful. You just have to draw your own. It also helps focus on the bigger picture. Brian, yeah, Lori's telling you, you have to mouse over the hot com icon and you'll see the charts. Just click on the one that says crude oil. I'll leave this over here so you can see it. Where am I doing this? I'm doing this right here in front of my computer. From out here in outer space, I guess. I can't, yes, thanks, Lori, because I can't see on my hotcom what everybody else sees. Just like I can't see what you see on your camera because I see it on my monitor. This is the great glory of technology, right? So anyway, um, this morning it looks like TF and NQ have kind of led the parade with these indices. YM has been the laggard, and ES somewhere in between. Crude oil, if you look at these 30-minute chart, this is a great lesson right here. Look at the 30-minute candles. You just don't see this very often during the day. I mean, maybe in the evening, um, or early in the morning, like, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You might see this, but it's these little bodied 30-minute candles with some have some wicks on them and some not so exciting, but they can't seem to get past getting out of this range from right here about oh, pretty close to 47, and this big magnet down here at 45.65 or 45.70. So anyway, let's see. What else do we have? With the indices being so, I mean, they're really ho-hum. I would think the VIX would be a little bit higher, but it's certainly not. The VIX is, I mean, it's a little bit higher than it has been. It's trading right now 1430. And Brent has been in kind of a chop. The currencies this morning. There were some opportunities in these currencies. The Canadian dollar was it kind of got sold off, but there were some nice trades. It spent the last 2 hours, 2.5 hours, it just literally bottoming. It put in a bottom. It's gone down there and tested that on a 30-minute candle 1, 2, 3 times, and it's in the process of maybe doing that again. So that's another thing. When you see those all lined up in a little row, they're going to have to break one way or the other. I mean, at some point. So best not jump out there and try to get on the bus until the bus driver decides to break out of that. The U.S. dollar went up a little bit today, and the euro is down. Those two trade exactly inverse to each other as a rule. It's a rare occasion. If you ever see them when they're not trading inverse to each other, you probably need to stop and see what's going on, because there's something wrong in River City. And I don't see too much else. I wanted to show you bonds today. We're not really clear, and somebody, I think it was Kate, put on a trade and she posted it in here. And I hats off to Kate, because she took a great entry. I mean, she took a great entry, and God bless her, she sat through the down move on it. It went against her at one point, and then she sat there and held on to it, and it did go up and give her 10 ticks she was looking for. So sometimes you have to be there right at, I mean, this was at 8:30, trend catcher put this up, but you have to be willing to sit through. This is almost a touchback. So this was a great opportunity right here to take this down. You can take this up here like Lori does with her C's trades, and then put a pretty tight stop on it, just 2 or 3 ticks, and let it go on down. You do want to measure to make sure, if you're going to take a trade like that, that you've got enough distance to the next major street where the bus driver is likely to stop and turn the bus around, to give yourself an opportunity to profit. So in other words, if this is coming into one of the I just noticed I don't think I have the high and low of the day on here. But when this is coming into, like, right in here with the green ice, and there's a deviation level, and there's range boxes down right in here. And then if you look at the volume, look where this volume went all the way over here. That's significant for that to break on through there. That's a very likely place for it to turn around and go the other direction. So this is why you don't want to wait until you're down here at this deviation level and then try to take this short, because there's not really enough distance to get you more than, maybe a tick or two. And that's way too much risk to get into that. So keep in mind, this is a probabilities game, and what you want are the highest probabilities, and you want the probabilities stacked in your favor. There is no 100% glorious gain way, and if there was, trust me, we'd all be doing it. And so would everybody else on the planet. Oh, by the way, this is This is a matter of there is a learning curve to this, no question about it. It's relatively simple, very simple. And keep in mind, nobody's telling you it's easy, because easy is a whole other animal. This is not easy, and anybody that tells you it is, I don't know. I'd kind of walk the other way. Or anybody tells you it's 100%. It's like the talking heads on TV tell you what's going to happen. Oh, yes, the market's going to do this and it's going to do that. Well, we'll see about that. Anyway, next week, we don't have any news, significant news coming out on Monday morning. So Mondays are usually pretty quiet on the news front. If you trade currencies, however, be sure that you check the Sunday afternoon, because when the market opens late in the afternoon, early evening, so that's Monday in other places. So be sure if you're trading currencies, that you know when their economic numbers are going to be released and when their central banks are going to make announcements. I love what the Brain Trust in the U.S. is now saying. Janet Yellen wrote a letter to some congressman and told him, we're watching to see how the negative interest rates work out for other people. Other countries. Well, okay. I thought you'd have been smart enough to figure that out by now, but maybe not. So the other thing that you need to be aware of next week is we're probably going to roll the crude oil contract midweek. It's the one we're trading right now is June. This is the June contract. Crude oil contracts roll every month. This one's got 7 more days till it expires. So I don't like to roll these things on Wednesday when there's inventory, but sometimes they're better rolled. I'll watch the volume in both the current and the front month contract, and we'll see what's happening. So, and I will make an announcement, and for those of you who trade crude oil on Nadex, they roll their contracts earlier than right. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony just put a notice here in the chat room that if you're trading Nadex, it's going to roll this weekend. So, and that will put you ready for Monday. If you're trading futures, we follow the money. Wherever the highest volume is, we will stay with our current contract until the volume gets up about even Steven. And then we like to roll those just a little bit ahead when it's just about 50-50. And we'll see how that it will definitely be either Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So, and Aaron, thanks. That is a great tip, and he put a link in here to Bloomberg.com markets economic calendar, and you can print that thing out. So, and the other thing to keep in mind, if trading futures is new to you, there's no rhyme or reason when these contracts, they all have a time they roll. The indices and the currencies, thank goodness, only roll 4 times a year. They roll quarterly. So when we get to June, sometime second or third week in June, something like that, we'll be looking at rolling all of the indices and all of the currencies. And it's not spot Forex, it's the underlying 6C and 6A and 6 whatever it is that you trade. So I think that's about it. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful weekend and gets past Friday the 13th. So I will see you all on Monday and stay safe. If the other, I wanted to tell you one quick thing too. When we've had a lot of chop in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, it will suddenly start to trend. So sometimes all is not lost if you don't like chop any better than I do. So I will see you Monday. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. Thanks.